You wake up with three tabs already open in your head. One is about something you're learning. One is about something you used to be obsessed with. And one is about something you haven't told anyone you want to try next. By breakfast, you've already judged yourself for not picking one thing and sticking to it. Everyone else seems simpler, cleaner. They introduce themselves with a straight line, one title, one direction, one story that makes sense on LinkedIn and at family dinners. You don't have a straight line, you have branches. You've tried explaining this before. It never lands. When you say, "I'm interested in a lot of things," people hear undecided. When you say, "I change directions," they hear unstable. When you say, "I get bored," they hear ungrateful. So you stop explaining. What they don't see is how deep you go. When something catches your interest, it doesn't just entertain you, it consumes you. You read past the basics. You want to understand the structure underneath. You want to know how it connects to everything else you've learned. You don't collect hobbies, you collect systems. The problem is, systems don't like to stay isolated. You notice patterns crossing domains, ideas from one field solving problems in another, skills that shouldn't fit together suddenly clicking. This is where things get uncomfortable, because the world still rewards the straight line. The ladder, the single identity, climbed slowly and predictably. Specialists are easy to understand, easy to hire, easy to categorize. You are none of those things. You look inconsistent on paper. You sound scattered in conversation. Your past doesn't point neatly to your present, and for a long time, you internalize that as failure. You tell yourself you're behind, that you wasted time, that if you just committed earlier, you'd be further along by now. You replay all the forks in the road and imagine a version of yourself who chose correctly. But here's the quiet truth you're starting to sense. Your path was never meant to be a straight line. It's an M shape. You go deep into one thing, then laterally into another, then deep again, then across, peaks and valleys, accumulation without obvious progression. Each phase looks like a detour, until it isn't. Because something strange happens over time. You start seeing connections other people miss. You translate between worlds that don't usually talk to each other. You become fluent in overlap. When a problem shows up, you don't attack it head-on. You circle it. You pull tools from different places. You reframe it in ways that feel unintuitive but work. This isn't lack of focus. It's distributed intelligence. People like you don't peak once. You peak multiple times. That's the part nobody prepared you for. The future you're moving toward doesn't reward one climb anymore. It rewards adaptability, pattern recognition, the ability to recombine skills when the ground shifts. Careers don't last 40 years now. Industries don't either. The straight ladder collapses when the building changes. You, on the other hand, are used to rebuilding. Every time you pivoted, you thought you were starting over. You weren't. You were stacking layers, carrying invisible assets forward. That writing phase taught you clarity. That technical phase taught you structure. That creative phase taught you taste. That abandoned interest taught you humility. None of it was wasted. But there is a cost to this way of being. You struggle with identity. You feel behind peers who chose early. You wrestle with the fear that you'll never fully arrive anywhere. And there's a particular loneliness to it. You don't fully belong in any single group. You're always half inside, half outside. Enough to understand, not enough to settle. You watch specialists build reputation while you're still assembling context. Some days you envy them. Other days you realize you'd suffocate in their certainty, because certainty comes with walls. And you've always needed doors. The M-shaped path asks for patience most people don't have. There are long valleys where nothing looks impressive, where progress is happening underground, where you can't point to a title and say, "This is who I am now." You're not there yet because there keeps moving. But then something shifts. One day, you're asked to solve something messy, something undefined, something that doesn't fit a single discipline. Everyone else hesitates. You don't. You recognize the shape immediately because you've seen pieces of it before, in different contexts, under different names. You know where to start, not because you're the best at one thing, but because you understand how things relate. That's when it clicks. You were never behind. You were training for a different game. A game where value comes from synthesis, not repetition, where insight beats efficiency, where the ability to learn again matters more than mastery once. You stop apologizing for your interests. You stop compressing your story to make others comfortable. You stop trying to sound linear. Your path only looks messy if someone expects a straight line. From the inside, it makes perfect sense. So if you're the person with too many interests, too many half-finished chapters, too many reinventions, this isn't a flaw. It's preparation. You're not unfocused. You're future-shaped. And the future doesn't need more people who know one thing perfectly. It needs people who can connect many things meaningfully. If this felt like it was written at you, subscribe. This channel is for people whose paths don't fit in a straight line, and were never supposed to.